And by then, there were lots of other people who were trying to get in touch with BBC, as I know now, like Ahmed Nasir. Adam showed me emails from Nasir, begging the BBC to come to the Maldives. And they came in early October. And obviously people are very scared to speak to them. I decided that it was my right to speak my mind. Whatever the circumstance, whatever happens, I was prepared to speak out, and I did. And I was going to stay in Mali and be a hero and all that. But once I told my friends that I'd given the interview, they said, you're going to be dead meat if you stay here and that interview comes whilst you're here. So I left a couple of days before the interview. And on the way out, I think as the interview came out that night on the 17th October, I got in touch with Michael of Maldives Culture and sort of gave a statement as well regarding that. And by then, the next couple of days, Gayyoom had started bashing the BBC and blamed everybody.
And didn't Nazim Satta also give an interview?
Nazim came live that night.
And then he subsequently lost his job in the United Nations because of that.
Yes.
Because of pressure from the Gayyoom, because Gayyoom's daughter works for the United Nations in
UN
Mali.
as well. Yes. And Nazim is our chairman's brother. Of course, by then, by early October, several people had left the Maldives to Sri Lanka, like Nasheed and Ani and Latif and Mausum and Ahmed Nasir and all of them had gone, and everybody was thinking of how we can organize ourselves and mount a real movement for change in Maldives, a real democratic movement, real fight for to bring a stop to these human rights abuses. And I think that's how the whole movement started. But obviously, in today's world, you need to have a political dimension to your solutions in these situations. That's why the movement, although it had the name Maldivian Democratic Party, I would say for the first year, all we did was human rights campaigning. All we asked the international media was, international governments, NGOs, was to, bring an end to the torture and oppression and arbitrary arrests and all sorts in Maldives. Because, funnily enough, the constitution of the Maldives is not that bad compared to other constitutions. The freedom of assembly is guaranteed, freedom of association is guaranteed, expression is guaranteed, freedom of expression is guaranteed, you have a right to a lawyer. All this is there. But, here's a man who he undermines the constitution time and time again, In fact, we had I think you were with us, we had a meeting with an expert on constitutional affairs in UK, Lord Leicester. After we explained several things to him, he said, if there was a court in Maldives to try him for treason, the evidence is, in tons. It's abundance. There's too much against him. But obviously, he uses a constitution. He uses the parliament and all that is ceremonial stuff for him. That's how I see it. And the strange thing is, we call his regime, as being unlawful or illegitimate regime because he actually was breaking the law at the time of taking the oath of office. Remember that? Mm. He was in possession of illegal firearms. And at the time of taking oath of office in 1978, he admitted that to the parliament in about a year and a half later, in early 1980. He even said that it might have been illegal at the time. And even I have spoken to people who were in the parliament in 1978, and some of whom have never been back to the Maldives. I mean, there's one lady that I know. She was the health minister at the time, She was forced to leave the Maldives, and she's not been back since for the last 28 years. She lives in UK and Sri Lanka. She was a cabinet minister, she was an MP, and she explained to me how Gayyoom bought the MPs out. You know, the process of selection, we call it divine selection, in the parliament is that, you know, the MPs choose a candidate to be given out for a referendum for people to endorse. And if you can buy out sort of 26 or 27 MPs out of the 50, you have it. So this is how he came to power. So, and the comparison that I draw now is our friend Naushad Wahid, who've just been released from jail after serving about 4 years for emailing Amnesty International about some human rights abuses in the Maldives in early 2001. Before that, he was jailed a few times. His mother, in 1978, a year after Gayyoom came to power, his mother just told a friend, you know, that she didn't like Gayyoom. She preferred former President Nasir. For that, she was dragged through the streets, spat at, and banished with a 6-week, old girl to an island.
It's reminiscent of Chairman Mao in China.
This is in 1979. Let's go to 2003. Ivan Nasim. You have a young boy. Okay, he might not have been a very good boy, but still he's 19. He was serving his sentence. He didn't deserve to die like that. When he died and his mother went around Male complaining to people that, look, you know, they killed my son. He was only 19. Did you see how bruised he was? They shouldn't have done it. What does she get? 6 months solitary confinement.
And if they actually, I understand from people that were with her in the prison, while she was handcuffed, the police officers actually told her that these were the handcuffs they had on her son, Ivan, while they beat him to death. This was the kind of mentality of the NSS. And
then her other son, when she came out of jail after the solitary confinement and told her other son about it, he got really upset. And he said, you know, I'm going to go and kill him. And then all of a sudden he was taken to jail and again tortured for like 4 or 5 months. Remember, we were watching some music show when we heard that news one day in Salisbury. We knew that we were getting news that he was being tortured right at the time.
That's right.
Yeah. You know?